share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see, I close my eyes to see. As every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Get myself together after that beautiful music. Wow, did that start your day off in such a beautiful way? Margot Capps, please stand up so we can give you a huge round of applause. I still have chills. Do any of you still have chills? It was just, you have such beautiful talent. We love hearing your talent, guys. So don't forget, share with Mrs. O. Margot, I believe you shared with Mrs. O, correct? That you had an interest in singing for chapel. So brave, so awesome. I mean, guys, teachers, did any of you do that when you were in 4th grade? Sing for Mrs. Canals? Did you say absolutely did? Did not. I mean, wow. So guys, if you ever want to do that, say it. Just let Mrs. O know, let me know. We love it. We love it. And you felt how magical that moment was. So have your moments. Like, are you already like thinking of something, Mackenzie? Yeah? Okay. Just talk to me. Let me know. Okay? Well, welcome back, everybody. In one room, I can say that. I saw you yesterday, but it's nice to see us all back from our spring breaks. I see some tan faces. I see rested faces. Did you all have a great time? Yeah? Are you glad to be back? Yes. I know the weather is not really cooperating with us this week. You know, they say April showers bring you were saying it with me, bring May flowers, and I already see some beautiful flowers out there, but it looks like we'll get a lot of flowers from all this rain we're having. I don't know about you, but my eyes are on the creek when I crossed the bridge this morning, and it was pretty wavy out there. Mr. McManus, I know you're keeping an eye on our creek. He's like this, saying a little prayer. But yeah, it's really rainy, so hopefully you all brought raincoats. We'll be doing some indoor fun recess today. But it's going to be a good week, right? Because we're back with friends and our beloved teachers. So next week, we have some big things happening, right? We are going to start eating where, guys? Where? Oh, I'm so excited. We're eating in the dining room again. Raise your hand. Okay, raise your hand if you've never eaten in the dining room. I thought this... Mr. McManus is raising his hand because, yes, Mr. McManus didn't have this experience at all last year. So all of you who are new, kindergarten, you're going to have to show a lot of us the ropes because you've been eating in the dining room, right? So maybe you can help us out. But there are a lot of things to remember. It's a lovely time. And I know your teachers this week, they may have already started to talk about it, but they'll be sharing with you kind of where you'll be sitting, who you'll be sitting with. It's so lovely, guys, because we have the 3rd through 5th grades eat first at 11 o'clock. And we mix everybody up, right? So Mrs. Walton, Dr. Conroy, and I have been looking at the tables to make sure we have you seated with friends, but also friends from other grades. And I know you guys haven't really had the opportunity, because of COVID, to really interact with different grades. So that's really special about our dining room experience. So we're going to practice and go down and like get a lay of the land this week. We'll have grade meetings in the dining room so we can go over some rules. But I'm going to just go over a few things right now because I think we can never talk about this enough. Because you've been eating in your classroom and we're not really practicing our manners so much, right? So some really important things that we need to remember. And I'm sure you've been practicing this as you go through the line with who are our lovely kitchen workers. Guys, who prepares? Chef Ron and Chef Andrea, yes. So we love them. They take such good care of us, don't they? Oh, I'm so thankful for the wonderful food they prepare. But we want to make sure that we're addressing them by their name, right? So we can say, thank you, Chef Ron. Thank you, Chef Andrea. Okay, and when you're at the table, you're going to use your manners. Please pass the potatoes. Please pass the spaghetti. All right, thank you, right? We're really going to put those manners into action. It's also really important to your teachers and to me, of course, that you really think about appropriate table conversation, right? Things that are including everybody. What's really special about eating at a table with a teacher, we can really get to know each other and have fun and really talk about things that are of interest. Maybe we'll talk about the weather. Maybe we'll talk about movies we've seen. Maybe we'll talk about what we did over spring break. Okay, so what would things be that we might not want to talk about at the table? Maybe things like if you were sick, I don't really want to know, about some things that maybe you did while you were sick. I don't really want to know maybe some movie you saw that was really violent. Right? So think about what you're talking about at the table and that it's inspiring all of us to enjoy each other, full of good character. Dax, did you have something to add with that? Okay, good question. Dax shared, don't talk about gross things. I totally agree, yeah, because we want to be eating and enjoying our food. But we will start this on Monday next week. So very exciting. And in addition to that, also on Monday, we're going to be going to the recess field together. Applause on that, right? Yay! So I was telling fourth grade yesterday that you really won't have that blacktop. Of course we will if it's really wet and muddy and gross, but you won't have your class just going down to the blacktop. We'll be going down as a big group if we need to, but mostly we'll be on that big playground. You'll be able to run from one end to the other and back and forth and get all that energy out. So, and you'll be, again, able to enjoy students from other grades. The 3rd through 5th will go up for their recess at 11:30. And guys in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, you'll have that second recess. So really exciting. Chase, did you have a question about that? Yes, I know why you're asking that. So Chase just asked, when are Greek and Roman games going to start? Why is he asking that? Because I believe yesterday some of you found out what team you're on. Did some of you find out what team you're on for the Greek and Roman games? No, well, you're going to. You're going to very soon. So the thing is, guys, Greek and Roman games don't happen for a long time. So I think this is a good time before Greek and Roman games, and always is just to practice when you're on the recess field, cheering each other on, remembering our good sportsmanship, and remembering what Greek and Roman games is really all about, right? It's about having fun with friends and within our community. So we are excited for that, Chase, but that's for a little while away. It's in May, okay? All right, so back to lunch. Mackenzie. Did you forget? I'm sorry, if you think of it again, raise your hand. So only 2 students can leave the table at a time, okay? Really important. What would happen if everybody got out of their seats at once in the dining room? Would it get a little crazy? Yeah. So we want to keep things orderly. We want to make sure that the salad bar isn't getting overcrowded, that we're really thinking about movement and not running into one another. Even when we go up to take our dirty plates and cups and things, we're still only 2 people at a time. Only 1 person from a table can use the restroom. And again, we're remembering to use the restroom very responsibly because that's part of our community, right? We want to take care of every inch of our community spaces. So we'll be talking about more of these things as we go to the dining room, but I really want you to be really thinking about that while you're eating your lunch in your classrooms for this last week, and be thinking about how we're going to enjoy each other once we return to that dining room. Did you think of what you wanted to say? Go ahead. What is the recess field? Yeah, you're probably not used to it being called that. Do you know where you go for the blue equipment or the green equipment? So that whole big area on the hillside is the big recess field. So Mackenzie, you won't be confined like just to the blue area. You can go all across, okay? And that starts next Monday also. So we'll leave the dining room together. We'll either walk on the sidewalk or run through the grass, right? Meet at the end of the sidewalk. The teacher will tell you when it's safe to cross, and then we'll all cross together to the recess field. Mackenzie is full of good questions. Do we need to ask permission to go from one end of the recess field to the other? No. The recess field is yours. Teachers will be out there, guys. There's always a lot of teachers out on the recess field. So you know, what is our big rule? If something happens at recess that needs taken care of, we take care of it there, right? There are many teachers to help you with anything you will need. You don't want to come back with a lot of issues that could have happened. Hopefully there won't be issues. But if there are, we're there to help, okay? Make sure you ask the many teachers who are out there to help you. Okay, Seth? Good point, Seth. Can you go up on the hill behind me here? No. No, you don't have that much space to run. So it's really where you would go when you were on the green side. That's the one end all the way to the blue equipment side, okay? So we're all just on this side of the playground, okay? Ruhan? That's a good one, Ruhan. I don't know if you all heard, but Mrs. Frizz has been talking to her class about when you get hurt at recess, which again, we hope doesn't happen, but it does now and then, and we want to make sure that you talk to the teacher there at recess so that she can give you a key card to go see Mrs. Forbes, right, if you need some attention from the nurse, okay? And last question, Miles. Oh, the playground down here. That is such a good question. Miles just asked, can you go from the blue and the green equipment to the red equipment, meaning the playground down here by the gym? No, really good question. We're sticking to the playground just on the hill. You'll still have time to go to that playground as a class now and then with Miss Janney or with your other teachers if you use that playground. But when we go to recess after lunch, we're sticking to that playground on the hill. Really good question. All right, so if you have more questions, we'll have those grade meetings when we meet in the dining room. Think of your questions, keep them there, and make sure you ask your teacher or me when we have those meetings. So that was a lot to cover. So speaking of our nurse and getting medical attention, guess who is giving chapel today? Mrs. Forbes. Yes, we love Mrs. Forbes, don't we? Oh my goodness. So some things you might not know about Mrs. Forbes. Not only does she take care of all of us, does she do a great job with that? Does she do a great job with that? Yes. And the adults I know said yes too, because she takes care of us too when we need to be taken care of. She's like the mom of Montgomery, kind of, right? Yeah. So speaking of being a mom, she's a mom. Mrs. Forbes is a mom. She has children, but she also has a fur baby. Did the picture just go on? How cute is that dog? Oh my gosh. That doggy's name is Livy. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. I wonder if she could come to school someday. Maybe for a little visit. We would love that. So Mrs. Forbes is such an experienced nurse, you guys. She came to us having worked at another school in the area. She worked at Church Farm School. She worked at Healthy Steps Pediatrics. Maybe that's some of you might go there for your doctors. Gary, that's where you go? Yeah, some of you go there. So Mrs. Forbes was a nurse there. Did any of you know her before she was at Montgomery, maybe? Yeah, Gary's giving me a thumbs up, yeah. So, wow, the fact that we have such an experienced nurse during this time of COVID, when she really was working so hard. Mrs. Forbes is here very early, but guys, she stays until very late, working hard on just catching up on paperwork, because her day is full of you, of visitors, and providing wonderful care for every need that you have. So I can't thank her enough for all that she's done for our school. And I'm really excited to have her. This is her first chapel delivery, right? So should we give her a big welcome? Yes. Welcome, Mrs. Forbes.
Good morning. While getting to know all of you this year, I realized that maybe there's some things that you don't know about me. Like a long time ago, I was a little girl with 3 older brothers, and yes, my mother did cut my bangs. And although I wasn't athletically inclined, I did enjoy school and was very proud of my grades. This was me in first grade, very proud. My mother was a nurse, and that's what she wanted me to become, but I always wanted to get married and have children of my own. And while raising my family, which gave me the most joy, it was such a blessing in life, I too decided to become a nurse. So my mother graduated in 1948. I graduated 48 years later. They capped me with her cap and pinned me with her pin, and she was very proud. But then, after 35 short years, we became empty nesters. So now my husband, Henry, of 40 years, enjoys the Hallmark Channel, especially Christmas in July. And Livy waits for the commercials, especially the Charmin Bear, while I spend my time with all of you. Well, most of my time. So the book I chose for today is Different, A Great Thing to Be. Scoot closer in and sit next to me while I tell you the story of my friend Macy. She can swim underwater, balance on logs. She can whistle. I sing just as well. She has a pet dog. She reads books and jumps high like kangaroos do. She takes hip-hop class and prefers to wear blue. She's a fun-loving kid, much like you and me, but she's also quite different, a great thing to be. A bit small for her age, Macy doesn't talk much. She takes her time while others rush, rush, rush. She says, "Hi, what's your name?" to both strangers and friends, and sometimes sings on after her favorite song ends. While Macy believes that different is grand, others at times just don't understand. Some people stare rudely, and Macy's been told, "You don't belong here, you don't fit the mold." This kind of rejection can sting, it is true, but the thing about Macy and the thing about you is the brain in her head and the brave in her heart know her place in this world is not separate or apart. When those scared of different tried to keep Macy out, she just wouldn't give up, nor did she pout. She looked at the people on her left and her right, and with a great burst of courage yelled with all her might, "Hey you, look at me. We're a lot alike, you see. but we're also each different, which is a great thing to be. Others around her realized Macy was right. They all watched in wonder as her spirit shone bright. At her school, at the park, at the dance studio, she brought the beauty of different to each place she would go. People learned to admire Macy's outlook on life. Sameness is fine, but different brings light. With brave in their hearts and with Macy to guide, the different in each one glowed from inside. Now it's your turn, dear one, to create a safe space. Be fearless like Macy and choose to embrace all that you are so others will see that different is truly a great thing to be. And the reason I picked this book is because each of us is different. We each have our own light to shine, which we do in our own time, in our own way. And thank you for sharing your light with me.